Your morning commute typically takes 25 minutes. If a 400 cubic foot dairy truck spills 2% milk on the freeway, causing you to take a detour and get stuck at a drawbridge for 20 minutes, how late will you be? Don't know? Well, good news, you don't have to, because Waze knows. With real-time traffic alerts from real Waze users, your ETA is always up to date. Waze. Download and drive today.
Save your most important documents, videos, and photos in the cloud. With a Microsoft 365 subscription, you get a full terabyte of secure OneDrive storage that you can access across all your devices. As part of your subscription, you get the added benefit of additional OneDrive Personal Vault storage. Using a second set of identity verification, this gives you an extra layer of protection for your most important and private files. Buy now at Microsoft365.com/memories.
What's going on? What's going on? You are tuned into the Cigars with Mac podcast. I see everybody like the other podcast we did the other day on the Cardi B syndrome. Thank you everyone who downloaded, liked, followed, and shared. I am most grateful. Anyhow, today I titled the podcast one title, but I'm gonna keep it. We titled it "Hungry Dog Has No Loyalty." But I'm gonna talk to a good friend of mine who has been very influential in my life. This man has tons of wisdom. Man, we're gonna just chop it up, and I think you guys are gonna enjoy him as much as I do. We go back 2012. Man, we go back to striking with the Union, man. It was some good times, But anyway, I'm gonna call him G. And like I said before, man, I know you guys are going to enjoy him as much as I do when we chop it up. And he has a host of wisdom. And, man, just sit back, relax, and let's get started, man. All right, G, you ready, bro? G. I think he hung up. Let me call him right back.
Your call has been forwarded to an...
All right, hold on, y'all. We're going to cue him, man. We're going to keep the show like it is.
Good morning.
Good morning, bro. You ready?
Yes, sir.
All right, man. Let's get at it, man. What you want to chop it up about first, man? Because I told everybody you have a host of wisdom, and we're going to just get into conversations, man.
Well, I am a Democrat. Okay, I love the Lord. Let's go there first.
Mm-hmm.
And we put Him first.
Okay.
And I could say, all for you Texans, I think you guys better really start. I'm not saying I'm a big lover of Biden, and I damn sure don't like Kamala. I'm just being real, but I despise y'all's president, and I say it's y'all's president. And because he's not mine. Anybody have any comment on that?
Nah, man. This is a pre-recorded show that they're not gonna hear it till after we get done.
Okay.
This is me and you chopping it up. You good?
And I can just say, I think we really got to look at what this guy has done back as far as with taking away, denouncing the right of black studies. And high school need it. They really need it, Mac. They need to know who we are and what we are.
Yeah.
We're already the strongest on earth. That's why, I think that's the reason why Anglo-Saxons can't stand us so much. I think that's why they hate us. We dominate everything we do. We dominate in sports, in football, basketball, track, soccer, tennis, and we even getting into the hockey.
Damn.
Now, we're getting a couple brothers playing hockey, and they're bad. And now they decided we're going to let some brothers in there in the NASCAR. And now there is a NASCAR team out there now. And I forget the name of the sports guy who bought it with Bobby and them, but it's a black NASCAR team now. And maybe the brother will have a little bit more insurance instead of people nooses in his area of mechanical where they work on his car, and which we took to the heart with that. And it's bad enough the brother out there by himself, and then people put nooses, even though they said now they try to clean it up and say that it was part of a pulley rope and had been there for years. We don't know. All we know is what.
Let me ask you this, man. Why do people try to tell you? You know, I was telling a friend of mine. We always talk about this. Why do people try to tell you what you're not seeing? You're like, I know what the fuck I'm seeing. You're not gonna tell me what I'm not seeing. And why do people like to insult our intelligence?
You know, Mac, that's a good question, brother. I don't really know, Mac. You know, we hear this president. Y'all's president, I'm going to say it again, y'all's president, Mr. Trump.
Yeah.
He say one thing, he says it, lie about something, and then turn around and say he didn't say it. Then his administration try to clean it up and say, oh, well, he didn't mean to say that. I'm like, what is wrong with you? Well, he said it. He fucking said it, and he meant it. Like he wants more people from Norway, where his origins is from. That's fucking bullshit.
Why didn't he denounce the Proud Boys, man? What's up with what's the deal with the Proud? Who are the Proud Boys? I didn't know who that was until Biden told him to denounce them.
And you know, it's kind of surprising me that Biden knew who that was, because I didn't fucking never heard of no Proud Boys. Honestly, but the base when it started, they said denounce separatism and white supremacy. Now, that's the question I need you to answer right now. Nothing else but that.
He never denounced it.
That might be to call them. What would you, motherfucker? That's not the question he asked you.
Yeah.
Just answer the goddamn question.
Yeah.
I'm not dealing with supremacy, and I probably would have had a better love for this guy if he would have did that. That everything that was possibly he said, which we knew he said them, he might not be such a racist. But he proved again that he is. And this is not the first time they've asked him that.
Yeah.
Gotta entertain that. And how can I express my love to someone who don't like me?
Yeah.
You shouldn't either.
Yeah.
You like me as a person because of my color? That's crazy.
Let me ask you.
I don't just like somebody because of their color.
I
just like you for you.
Let me ask you this. Why do you remember when Obama was in office?
Yeah.
You remember they made him denounce Jeremiah Wright. You remember that? And he did it.
And he did it. Because Jeremiah Wright was a friggin' idiot.
Well, Jeremiah Wright was also on the money too. He was also right. What he said wasn't wrong. It was just they made Barack Obama denounce him.
They had, Mac, because the way his content of putting the way he did it was wrong. It was, Mac, and the guy was, perfect example, Mac. And I'm glad you're on that note.
Yeah.
Those preachers that was following Donald Trump, those black preachers.
Was following, they still follow him. Man, do you know how many black...
Don't see him on TV.
Yeah, you know how many black pastors, black male pastors support Trump? Do it's a lot of them.
Mac, I think he despises us more than any. Just like, I'm looking at one thing on TV. I know we mix this up and we want to adapt different ways of looking at this.
Yeah.
Black people as a whole have been discredited all through life. Why don't they talk about reparations for us? They've given reparations to Indians.
Wow.
You know that, man? In the middle of the desert.
Mm.
They have helped everybody but you and me.
That's right.
And we built the White House physically. We built the White House. Oh my God. The strength of this country was built on the backs of black people. And we didn't get paid half the time.
I don't know if you know it or not, but I've been talking about we need reparations for a long time. I've been saying that.
I see me and you talking about that. But
I'm
not saying for you. I'm talking about
no. I know what you're saying. I know what you're saying. Answer this for me, man. You've been, like I said, you're an older man, and this is something I spoke of a while ago. You know, Trump has never, and you know me. I told you I like the guy because he's up front. You know where you stand with him. But answer this for me: why in the hell every time a black person, especially a black public figure, says something, you know, negatively against Jews, they have to denounce Minister Louis Farrakhan?
I can't understand that one, Matt, because I grew up, my dad was a Muslim. And I didn't really like some of their ways when I used to go to the temple as a kid. And I spent a lot of time in the temple. Me and my dude, I had the craziest life, Matt. I'm going to give you this. And then that'll probably go back to what you originally questioned.
Okay, talk about it.
My brother, we went to Catholic school. Sunday, I went to Sunday Christian Church of Christ with my grandma. Better have your church clothes, church shoes, if you come in my house. And Wednesdays and Thursdays, I was at the temple with my dad. Talking about a fucked up kid. Denouncing Jews, Gentiles. It was horrible, man. Horrible. So I know a little bit about Catholics and all the heads of feet, the damn accordion.
Mm-hmm.
For you Christians, you know what that is. Had to read it. And I go up in my room right now, Mac, if we wanted to go on a camera, and I have a Quran, I have a Christian, NIV, and a regular Old Testament Bible, and we have Seventh-day Adventists in our house Bible. And I had to go through all that propaganda to understand what I really love, and what I found out I really love, Max, is me.
That's right.
Hold on, Max.
All right. Y'all, this is on the fly, so excuse the interruptions. You know, we just chopping it up. This is very random, and you know, y'all bear with us.
Sorry about that, Max. My daughter was leaving. She's a nurse trying to get her help people. She wants to go help people. I'm just so blessed in that area. But she's part of a club, Black Lives Matter. Their group is called Next Gen. And
your daughter?
Yes, my daughter. And all of college graduates, smart. They don't believe in going out there and breaking windows and all that kind of craziness, because I don't believe in it either. I think it's wrong. Whatever color you are breaking windows, stop it.
They civilize people.
Yeah, just stop it. It makes no sense. Everything that you build up, you're depleting. Just stop it. I know I'm all across the board, but
that's what I want us to do, man. Let me tell you something, man. If you listen to my podcast, I don't have a script, man. I just, whoever I'm with or by myself, I just chop it up, man, and people enjoy listening to it. So ain't no script. Excuse me, ain't no script, bro. You good? Talk about it.
You know, Max, back in the day when you and I worked, we talked about a lot of things. And you know, I was discriminated at that place I worked at that time.
Yes, sir.
And you know it, Max. Remember that. And I still didn't understand why, but I loved working there. I really did. I live in California, you guys, and I was working in Texas, away from my lovely wife and my beautiful family. That was probably one of the hardest things to do that for about a year and a half?
About a year and a half, almost 2 years, something like that, yeah.
And coming flying home when I get a chance to see my beautiful queen, it hurts. I remember coming home to my Castle Mac. I walked in here, and I do have a beautiful home here in California. Big. I walked in the front door, Mac, and I swear to God, Mac, this happened. I looked. I said, damn, this house is big. I got down on my knees and just thank God for the blessing of these homes. And people that are out there without a home, living on the street, Mac, I can't even fathom none of that.
That's right.
I can't, and I just pray for them. These souls that are out there walking aimlessly without stuff. And you know what, Mac? This country shouldn't have one bit of phantom nowhere. No one should be hungry.
We have plenty.
This is the land of plenty.
I was listening to one of my podcasts and I listened to it. I listened to my podcast to see the sound quality, and I like to check out the ads that are in my podcast. And they have groups for farmers to be a part of, and I wish I had wrote it down. I have a farmers ad. It is groups for farmers. Farmers, bro.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know it or not, but there aren't that many black farmers anymore.
No, there isn't. There isn't, Mac. There isn't. Do you know in California they have this law? You know California's got the craziest gun laws.
Yeah.
The craziest every law in the world. That's why it's also much to live in this monstrosity. Because I want to get out of here. I can't afford to retire here.
Yeah.
But one day I was in the deli in this grocery store. Stater Brothers. I'm just going to say the name. It's a big one here in California.
What's the name of it?
Stater Brothers.
I've never heard of them.
Yeah, and they have a lot of stores. And the quality of food is magnificent, man.
Yeah.
It's almost like going to Pavilion. And you've heard of Pavilion, right?
I've never heard of Pavilion, bro. We don't have that out here.
It's a real high-end store.
Our high-end store out here is Central Market. It's Central Market, and it was what's that store that Amazon bought? Whole Foods.
Whole Foods, and we have those out here. Whole Foods too. It's better than Whole Foods.
Wow, Whole Foods is good. I love Whole Foods.
Got good stuff. They have boars, heads, sliced meat, which I absolutely love. And you guys have it in the Kroger too.
Yeah, we sure do.
Somewhere, I don't know why, but either way, one day they were making my wife sandwich. Because I always get her a little something so she can take to work for lunch, so she don't have to run out. Because my wife works in the court, and she doesn't have a lot of time to run out because she's a mediator. And now she's a floater, so she goes to criminal, all of them now. She does something, whatever the hell she does. I did. But I know she's well, and I can't wait to get my queen home. She ain't got to do that no more. But anyway, back to what I seen in the grocery store. I looked at these 3 baskets that were sitting over in the corner. I said, is that stuff on sale over there? He said, no, we're getting rid of it. I said, well, can I have it? Like that. Because I donate to this one church all the time when I overcook in my house. Or after the holidays, I take all the food, overflow food to them.
Yeah.
To the homeless. So I wanted this bread and cakes and whatever else was in there. I just wanted. He said, well, I can't give it to you. I said, and I just said, seriously, why? He said, the law doesn't permit it because Californians will turn around and sue you because the food was bad. I swear to God, that chick said that. And I asked another grocery store who had food laid up. I said, can I have all this salvage food? I would love to donate this to a shelter who needs food. You know, people are freaking hungry, but California won't allow you to give it away. The grocery stores, I swear, man. Unless it's one of them independent grocery stores. Some big chains, no, it ain't happening. I'll tell you, man. Can you imagine tons and tons of food every day going out from different stores and going in the trash in a compost yard?
That's sad.
And it's fucking sad. And see, you haven't been here in a long time, man. You drive up in Hollywood, all downtown LA. We have a place called Skid Row.
Mm-hmm.
The name kind of what it is. It looks looks like a damn zoo. It looks like a damn zoo. Matter of fact, Jamie Foxx made a movie about him living down there. He was a violinist.
I remember that.
That's Skid Row.
Y'all have a lot of talented people in LA, in California, period.
Yeah, I guarantee if you came here, we could drive around. I guarantee you could see a movie being made. I can guarantee it. You'll see something that you've never ever seen before, as far as with media. It's just some everyday. It's Hollywood. Everything is plastic and fake half the time. But the homeless problem here, Mac, you see all these people with these old raggedy motorhomes, trucks, all against the. Like you go to an area where it's an industrial area.
Yeah.
The whole filled with motorhomes where people are living in them, Mac, throwing the waste on the street. The country won't even put public toilets for them down there, Mac, in a lot of those areas.
They don't care.
They don't give a shit, Mac. And these motorhomes, you can tell some of them don't run because they're on a flat.
Wow.
But these people are living on the street. Mac, it's the worst thing it looks like a bad zombie movie down in that place. Crackheads, people just broke. When I was doing my documentary, which I spoke to you about, called "What the Fuck Happened," I still want to know what the fuck happened. How did they let it get to this bad? Because I interviewed a lot of homeless people, Mac, and they were, oh God, my God, I damn near weep now, Mac, just thinking about it. When you see a family with 3 little kids living in a motorhome on the street, you imagine living like that, Mac, with your kids?
Man, I couldn't imagine it, man.
Me either, Mac.
I couldn't imagine it. That's why I always teach my kids to appreciate what they have, make your beds, clean your house, be appreciative of what you have, because I've been homeless before. I've been without a room, and I've been sleeping on the pallets and things like that as a kid, man, and it sucked, man. And I told God back then, I said, if you allow me to have my own home, I promise I'll keep it clean. I'll take care of it.
Well, I can honestly say, Mac, I never had to live like that because my family were a little bit well off, and I'm just being honest about it. And but I still appreciate the blessings that I got and God has given me. But I always made it. When I do become a successful man in this world, you'll be able to eat it on my floor. And I swear to God, Mac, I'm up at 5 o'clock to 4:30 every morning, and you can eat off my floor right now. I got white tile in my back. White. Walls are white. Everything is white. And you can eat off the floor. I take pride in the cleaning and making sure I can be blessed with these things and continue to be blessed. But I feel sorry for the have-nots who don't have nothing. When my sister-in-law is the pastor of it, and I take it to her, or she'll come pick it up if it's just too much.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, when I asked for the groceries, the baskets of bread, and whatever else was in those baskets, I needed it to give to that church. And man, our homeless problem here in California is the worst than anybody.
Mm-hmm.
Because our weather, they come from Texas. They come from every part of the country to come here. Our homeless problem has arisen here so high that the average person, it's damn near, they say, damn near, I forgot what the count was, but it was ridiculous. It went up almost like 5% more. Because we don't get a lot of rain back, and it's not really cold here. No, it's not. Perfect weather.
It's perfect weather.
So they can come here and live. But we don't have no money to give them, because they damn sure don't give it to them. But we got all these rich actors here, Matt. A lot of them don't do shit.
Man, I'm going to tell you the truth, though, man. A lot of them actors ain't holding like you think they are. A lot of them cats struggling, bro. I'm telling you, I know for a fact they are. I know for a fact. The something I always tell people, especially the younger folks, everybody wants to be an entrepreneur and all that. But I always tell people that the working man is going to always win in the end. The working man will. Go ahead.
It's funny you say that, because I'm going to, as my old age, I'm going to find out. I think you're right. I really do, because I'm starting to see all my friends who are getting ready to retire or they have retired. They live pretty damn good here. Me, I really technically can't afford to retire, man.
Yeah.
I can't afford it.
Well, a lot of Californians can't.
And so when my wife will get her retirement and her Social Security, and us together as a team, we'll make it. But when you have a $3,000-$4,000 house, though, like most of these people have here in California, brother, how do you make it?
I'm gonna tell you, man. I met a gentleman. He retired. He worked in manufacturing in Los Angeles County, and he retired, man, after about 35, 40 years, which is not the norm in California. Most Californians work 50 years.
Right.
And man, he said, I sold my house. He said, I bought my house 30 years ago for about $100,000. He said that was a lot of money back then. He said, I sold my house for $500,000. He said, my retirement stretches tenfold in Texas, way further than it would in California. He said, I bought this house I'm living in right now, brand new. He was a nice guy, but he took his California fortunes and came to Texas, and he's living like a king, man.
Mac, I talked to you about this thing just the other day. I said, we bought this house for $300 and some change. It's right about 3,400 square foot. It's a big house, sitting on a quarter of an acre.
Yeah.
The house worth almost $800,000. I can come there, Mac, put $200 down on a house. Mama retired. I collect my Social Security. We ain't got to work no more.
You ain't got to work no more. Not unless you just want to work.
Yeah, let's like, well, and I'm one of the type of guys who will work because I love working. And my wife probably would too. We'd probably open up another business, knowing she and I, and run that. But groceries here is ridiculous, man. The taxes? Our taxes, y'all don't have no state taxes.
No, we don't.
We have state taxes here. And then they're almost, man, you go buy groceries, Mac, you can't even imagine. $1, you're spending almost 20 cents to $1 now. Oh, Mac, it's that bad here. It's bad here.
Yeah, gas right now for us is $1.79, bro.
Gas here is still $3.
That's ridiculous.
And you know, Mac, the sad part about it, Mac, our governors and our senators here don't try to do a damn thing. They just keep letting. Our biggest thing they always say, oh, the pollution and our weather is so bad. Yeah, it is bad. But then you don't need to be charging us, $3, $4. At one point, gas here was $5 a gallon, Mac.
Man, it's time to leave, bro.
Well, we know it. Me and my wife, we know we can't retire here. We're just trying to figure out what state, what city is going to be the best one for us to look at.
It's time to. I'm gonna tell you what you got to do, bro. And it's just, I know you older than me, but this is a suggestion. I know you love your family. Your daughters are nurses. They can get their license out here, man, and come out here, brother. And y'all can live good out here, man. I think y'all should come as a family unit, even though they're grown, but still come as a unit, because the older you get, you want your kids to be closer to you. So,
oh, of course, I gotta see my grandchildren.
You gotta see your grandbabies. So I would recommend, man, that y'all just, move out here. Everybody move out here in Texas. You will find a job. I mean,
ain't no if and buts.
Ain't no if and buts. Me and a friend of mine, we out here just putting our resumes out here, just seeing what's out there. Dude, jobs are calling us left and right. I mean, I'm like, good Lord, how can people not find jobs?
Back out here, it's just really. I wish you could just come out here and spend a week back. I got a guest room, real nice one, brother. If you want, I'm open to doors to you. and let's just go around and I want to show you. We can film it. We can film it. And then you'll really see what I'm talking about. Because you gotta see it. And you would be, damn, the weather's here. Damn, this place is absolutely gorgeous. But then you start looking at life of living here. You have to be making obsessive basically to live like I live. You need to be making the minimum of $180,000 minimum.
So basically $200,000 a year to be comfortable.
To live comfortable here, right? Without struggling.
Wow.
Yeah. Mac, remember I was spending all my...
Save your most important documents and photos in the cloud. A Microsoft 365 subscription gives you a full terabyte of secure OneDrive storage, plus an added layer of protection with OneDrive Personal Vault. Buy now at Microsoft365.com/photos. Save your most important documents, videos, and photos in the cloud. With a Microsoft 365 subscription, you get a full terabyte of secure OneDrive storage that you can access across all your devices. As part of your subscription, you get the added benefit of additional OneDrive Personal Vault storage. Using a second set of identity verification, this gives you an extra layer of protection for your most important and private files. Buy now at Microsoft365.com/memories.
My money on, you remember that?
Yeah, you were.
So we can make it. I was living on a shoestring budget down there in Texas.
It don't take much to live out here.
No. Only thing I hated out there was y'all utilities. That was just a horrible. I couldn't get to that. That just didn't make any sense to me. We were buying electricity by the kilowatt. I told my brother, that was just, what is this?
Oh, in California, it's different?
Man, well, let's put it this way, Mac. When the high heat hit the summer last month, me and my wife paid a $900 utility bill.
In California?
I'll show it to you, Mac.
Well, you might well, Texas ain't that bad then, dude.
Mac, 2 months we spent about $1,300 during the summer for utility bill. Well, the blessing of all of that, Mac, I got solar on top of my house now. Right now.
Yeah.
So it dropped my utility bill down to $77 a month.
Ooh, that's a big jump.
Who you telling, Mac? Who you telling? And we're coming out on the 9th of this month, and they're going to see about putting a generator to tie it to my solar system. So if the grid goes down, the generator kicks in and makes the solar system work. Then I'm shit.
I wouldn't buy that if I was you. I'm gonna tell you why. Because all that solar's building up, and y'all weather is so good out there, man. You ain't got nothing to worry about. Yeah, y'all weather out there is damn near perfect.
I would go to say it is perfect, man.
Yeah, you ain't got to buy that. They just, whoever that sales guy is trying to get more money.
We have to have these rolling grids and blackouts here in California because in the summertime, it gets so damn hot out here. You got Palm Springs 125 degrees, man. You got Palmdale, Lancaster area. They're running 120. Out here where I live, 115. And I'm an hour away from the beach. And it's still that hot, man. We're in the desert, like almost to the desert. I'm at the foothills of the mountains to go up into Big Bear and Lake Arrowhead. Beautiful, absolutely God's country up there. I'm 20 minutes, 30 minutes at the max. I'm an hour and 15 minutes from the beach. I got Palm Springs full desert. I'm 30 minutes from it. We're centrally located to everything. Everything. And I like it quiet, peaceful. But now you hit, we go 10 miles down and you hit San Bernardino, you better be careful.
Really?
It's like that. It's like that. Kind of like your Oak Cliff.
Wow. Well, Oak Cliff, I'm going to tell you something about Dallas, Fort Worth, man. You can drive in those hoods, nobody gonna bother you, man. Especially if you're not from there.
ain't nobody gonna bother you back, but it's the nighttime when you know you shouldn't have your ass over there.
Yeah, but what are the chances of that really happening though? Even out here, even if you go out at nighttime, when I was younger, I used to hang out at Oak Cliff a lot. I used to hang out there a lot, but I was with a brother of mine, and I had no problems, man. I used to leave his house 1 or 2 o'clock. Nobody bothered me, man. But I lived in the hood during high school, man. So I kind of know how to maneuver and blend in, But and it's really all a respect thing, because I'm gonna tell you, some of the most love I got was from the hood, man. The hood, I ain't gonna lie, I don't talk about it a lot, but the hood showed me a lot of love, brother. I ain't gonna even lie to you, but I just don't desire to live there anymore. But I just never forget where I come from.
Yeah. Have you ever heard of Watts, Matt?
I sure have.
Well, my grandmother lived in Watts, a great big old mansion in Watts.
Yeah.
And at one point, Watts was all white people.
Really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, so White Compton was mainly all white.
Really?
People don't. That's why I said it's so good that we have these black studies back in schools, so people will know that. There's a town in Compton called Richmond's Farm, and it's still houses you and I would beg to live in.
Wow.
Kid you not? That night, the house we lived in Watt was an old house like one of them Gone with the Wind with the big pillars in it.
Yeah.
And we had a house that my uncle lived in with his 5 kids, which was crazy. I didn't understand that. And but my grandmother and my grandparents, who died in their hundreds, housed all us kids every weekend.
Plenty of room.
Saturday and plenty of room, man. But this and that whole block on her side were all these old style mansions. We're white, and when we had a fire in that house. And I'm gonna tell you, this is when I really learned about it. I was taking the lab off the walls, and I looked, and there were all these old posters inside the wall. Thousands of them, Mac. I'm looking at them. You couldn't read them because a lot of them were kind of falling apart.
Yeah.
But they were posters, like going to white people stuff, like cotillions and shit like that. The house has to be it's got to be over 100 years old. And, but there were all these old posters, man. Foot told me that white people lived in that house first. Yeah. It was built by white folks.
I don't know if you're aware of this, but I read a book on the first black millionaires after slavery, and they also, most of them escaped slavery. A lot of black people that escaped slavery ran to California during the gold rush and made fortunes.
Yeah. Like this morning when we were talking about, Matt, we were on that subject about Central Avenue. I'm sorry we're so deep on California, but so many blacks came to California at one point. But on Central Boulevard, Cab Calloway, all your old jazz artists, they had all these clubs down there, Mac, where black people used to go and dance and party, and all the stores on Central were owned by black people.
Mm-hmm.
Furniture store. I witnessed the end of it as a kid. Because my aunt and uncle and my auntie who worked for President Ford, she lived there too.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, Mac, I wish you had if we had this thing on video, I'll show you. Where my little cousin is the mayor of New Orleans, and my aunt worked for Mayor Bradley, and she worked for Ford. And they're on my mouth, pictures of them with these presidents right now. Now. So, I listened to my grandmother because I told you they were pretty, they were well off. They weren't broke. They all graduated from college. They all graduated in Texas. Matter of fact, Mac, speaking of Oak Cliff, my Aunt Audrey, the one who worked for President Ford, she's in the Hall of Fame at the Hall of Fame in Oak Cliff at Bishop College. You know where Bishop College is out there?
You mean Paul Quinn?
Is that what they call it these days? But it used to be called Bishop College.
Yeah, I think that's what. That may be what you're talking about. I know it is Paul Quinn. It's been Paul Quinn shit for God knows how long, but it probably stands for Bishop Paul Quinn. I don't know. I don't have the ability to look it up.
When I went there, when they put her in the Hall of Fame, and she was alive, I was there. I had no idea what this was about. I just really rode with my grandma and my aunties to go witness this. And we stayed in the Etta Somebody dormitory. And it was amazing to see that happen for her. And she was a beautiful woman, just a real nice, spirited woman. Maybe one day I'm going to take a picture of this and send them to you, Matt. And a picture of my little cousin Toya working with Ted Kennedy here on my manor. Oh my God. And my Aunt Audrey was over L.A. with Mayor Bradley. You heard of Bradley, right?
Yeah, when did Ted Kennedy die? He was the last remaining Kennedy, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, my cousin knew Kennedy. He personally knew Ted. Ted Kennedy loved black folks back in the day.
He loved them, man.
He loved them. He got a picture with Ted Kennedy, man. They was shaking hands and all that. Ted Kennedy, man. He was that dude. He wasn't like John though. He wasn't like his brother.
Oh, he was down to earth. He loved black people. He loved pretty much all people.
He loved all people.
He was a good guy. I got a picture because they were together. My little cousin, she's young. She's your age group, Matt. And they were on the board together to revitalize New Orleans.
Mm-hmm.
And they were there after Katrina, working on Katrina, and she wasn't a mayor then. She was just a councilman or some shit. I don't know what the fuck she was. Or assemblyman, I don't know. But I know she was in the political arena. And I knew she was on her way coming up. And if you ever get a chance to, have you ever seen her on TV, Matt?
No, I don't watch TV like that, especially when it comes to politics. I don't watch I don't really watch television a lot. Like I said, I don't have time to really.
Well, I know. My wife and I, we went down there to the inauguration. Because she was the first of the 300 years anniversary of the first woman mayor ever, and the first black woman mayor ever in New Orleans.
Wow.
And they had a big thing. It was big, and you know who Donna Brazile is, right?
I think I heard that name before.
She's a Republican, and she used to be on Fox all the time as a commentator.
Mm-hmm.
She's here on CNN, and Silverhead, real intelligent black woman. He did it. It was so many people there. The Neville, man, the list went on and on and on at this party we went to. The black guy, and it had to be. It's in New Orleans. It had to be close to over 2,500 people in this place.
Mm-hmm.
Man, it was beautiful, man. I got all the pictures to prove it. Pictures of my wife and I there. You know, when they got married in the 300-year-old church. I mean, not married. They did the consecration for them in this church. The senators were there, the chief of police. I met all of them. I sat at the table with them. Nice people. Really, really nice, enjoyable people. People that ran Tulane College. I'm sitting at this big round table with my wife and I, with all these people, these prominent people. And they were just like me and you, man. Just like you and I.
Oh yeah, I tell people that, man. A lot of people, believe it or not, you think people are not accessible. They actually are very accessible.
Yeah.
I don't know if you remember the guy named the guy who was on Trump's one of his advisors, Anthony Scaramucci. He fired him.
Yeah, I know exactly who he is. He was on TV last night. Matter of fact, Scaramucci.
Bro, I reached out years ago. I knew about Anthony Scaramucci before he even was in the public eye like that. I found him on a YouTube video. He's one of the wealthiest people in the world. Anyway, I reached out to him, and was like, hey, man, I want to, be connected to you, I want to know how you got successful, And his book is called The Secret to Hedge Funding and all that. He sent me a couple books, man. he called my phone personally. You know, I was like, what? You know, we didn't really talk because I was doing something. But I gave my phone number, gave my email, gave my home. He mailed me the books and everything. Man, I don't know what the hell I did with them books, but I can look them up on Audible and find them. But yeah, man, this guy's a multi-billionaire, man. These people are very.
I know he was on CNN last night, Max, talking about Trump's mishap by making the thing about the Proud Boys, and he said he didn't think it was right.
Yeah, he doesn't like Trump anymore.
He don't like Trump at all.
He don't like Trump at all no more.
No, he don't like him after he fired him. I don't, Max. I know my legislature. I know this stuff. Max. I look and I read. I know all these people, Max, because my family's been politically connected. So you have to know. Now I got to know. Like, you know what? When Trump came out and told my little cousin Toya, her name is LaToya Cantrell. When he told her. He made a statement about New Orleans, what, you know, when this pandemic was going on, and what he didn't do as a mayor for her city, and she let him have it. He fucking let his dumb ass have it. She said, you know what? Nationally, you did not tell the people that this thing was this bad. And it's in black and white. And it's in every storybook on every newscaster, because I watched it when he said it, man. Don't ain't gonna wear no mask, telling people. And now look at his dumb ass, he got it.
He got it now. Yeah.
Save your most important documents, videos, and photos in the cloud. With a Microsoft 365 subscription, you get a full terabyte of secure OneDrive storage that you can access across all your devices. As part of your subscription, you get the added benefit of additional OneDrive Personal Vault storage. Using a second set of identity verification, this gives you an extra layer of protection for your most important and private files. Buy now at Microsoft365.com/memories. Save your most important documents, videos, and photos in the cloud. With a Microsoft 365 subscription, you get a full terabyte of secure OneDrive storage that you can access across all your devices. As part of your subscription, you get the added benefit of additional OneDrive Personal Vault storage. Using a second set of identity verification, this gives you an extra layer of protection for your most important and private files. Buy now at Microsoft365.com/memories.
That's
it tells a lot about this guy, Max. It's just the lies and the deceitfulness he does, Max. You know, and me and my wife was talking about what he has done by giving that money. Me and you talked on about him to give to colleges, but it's nothing compared to some of the other presidents that have to give. That they have to give so much money to the black colleges. They need to start funding some of these black elementary schools. Let's just say people of color, challenge elementary schools. That's where it starts, where your kids really start to learn and develop. That's where it starts. But if you go into some of these schools, like going, let's say Oak Cliff, you go down there, they ain't got no computers back, some of them schools. They got old books. And you go to some of these white schools, man, you go to some of them, and you see how they're living.
It's rough.
They got everything, man.
Yeah, them white schools got everything. I'm gonna tell you, man.
I went to a white school. He had fucking everything. My daughter.
My last
daughter went to white school out here.
It just opened up. You right, because I went to white schools when we left Louisiana. I was 5 years old, and I went to majority of white schools. In fact, I went to all white schools during my formative years. And man, we always had brand new books every year.
Yeah, you go to their school because I was bused back in school, and I ended up being raised in Inglewood. Okay, I was raised in Inglewood, and as a young person, but my grandparents lived in Watts, where I had to go back and get reality check every weekend. But I was white, man, and a lot of white kids in them, and we were treated better. It was cleaner. Food was top grade. And then my dad moved us to Compton.
You hated it.
Mac, the first day I'm walking to school, Mac, dude pull a gun on us. Come on, why ain't y'all throw it up? Some old crazy guy. I didn't know what the hell he talking about, Mac. my life? Pulled a gun on me and my brother going to school. Some of y'all should have been fighting at the track meet.
What?
I'm like, nigga. Mac, I swear to God, Mac. This is the kind of shit that we went through when we moved to Compton. This went on for about, my dad let us live there for a semester. Next thing you know, we back in Palmville. Because he knew we thought about getting wrong. And I shot a nigga, man.
He said y'all were, hey, he said y'all wasn't built for that life.
No, I shot a guy, Mac. You hear me?
Yeah.
Proud of Mac. But the guy was beating up on my friend, and we just playing across the track on Greenleaf, playing football with kids. Just kids playing football, one side of the track against the other side. This dude started beating up people. Beating them up, man, for no reason. You know, but some crazy people. Some of the people, you know, you got crazy people in all colors. Crazy. They start beating us up. I go back to Palmdale. I'm at school, man. Next thing you know, the Ku Klux Klan is in the damn parking lot at Palmdale High School.
Oh, man.
Telling us to go fuck off. I hit this dude. I don't know if you might not old enough. One of those orange tree bottles. One of those orange trees that had orange juice in it. And the name of the company's called, you know, it was a big, thick glass bottle. They were back on this truck talking shit. I don't know if they were Klansmen or separatists or whatever the hell they were. And they were talking shit. We were in the parking lot, just chilling, smoking weed, you know, like teenagers do. And they there talking shit in the parking lot. And you know who the police came and harassed?
You.
Us.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes. This is in Palmdale, California in the 70s. I kid you not, Matt. He came over and harassed us. Well, who threw the orange bottle and hit the guy in the head with it? Nobody answered. It was me. Because I busted his head wide open saying, nigger ass, Matt. I seen that shit, Matt. I remember one day we was in the dugout over on this baseball field. We like to play baseball. You know, pop one or baseball, whatever the hell they called it. And we playing baseball, and the game's over. So we thought we were high school students because it was a kids game there early that day. So we was there watching the game. It was kind of like a hangout to watch the game, and then we were there smoking weed again. You know, being high school kids. All of a sudden, these white boys show up, man. Start chasing them. And my boy Stinky Foot Bill, rest his soul, he said, man, here come them pink people. I said, what the fuck is he talking about, pink people? Next thing you know, man, they out there trying to fight us, man. They would have fucking beat us up, probably killed us. There was a lot more of them than us. It was only like 4 of us.
Damn.
And start chasing. Yeah, man. Man, I went through so much shit, man, in my younger days, man. I've seen so much racist shit, man. And that's the way I feel, man. Because a lot of them don't give a fuck about you.
Hey, you get no disagreement on that end, brother. I'm not delusional like that. You know that. I'm from the South, brother. You got to remember, I'm from the South. I am from the South. I have never. Huh?
I didn't know you were born in Louisiana.
Yeah, I was born in Monroe, Louisiana, man. I mean, I called Texas home because I moved here when I was 5 years old, man. But I never forget. Say again.
You're Louisiana.
Okay, you can call me that. That's fine. It don't bother me, you know.
Hey, man, I'm going to put it to you on something else, too. That's what your business certificate says.
Yeah. But if you ask my family, birth certificate.
It's not a birth certificate. It has the ones here in California, my birth certificate, my real one, I have it. It's black. It don't have no seals on it, Mac. But the one when I went to get the updated one, which they made me go do, it has the same seal. And it has identification number on it as my seal on my damn. If you think I'm lying, I can prove that.
No, well, listen. Let me tell you though how it was for me. I can remember we lived in. I grew up in Garland, Texas. You know, and I never forget a little white girl, man. You know her. I had to be about 9 or 10. We lived in these apartment complexes, and the little girl, for whatever reason, she said, "My dad told me I can't play with you anymore because you're a nigger." And I looked at her, and that was about, I remember when I was about 6 years old, I'll never forget, one of my best friends, his name was Billy, little white boy. We was, you know, at that age, you don't really see color like that.
Right.
So,
you having fun.
Yeah, and so anyway, Billy, you know, we always play the monkey bars and do tricks, and you know, at that age, you got strength out this world, you don't even realize it. So I never forget Billy. I used to love to see him on the monkey bars. Man, he was good with it. Well, one day his father saw us playing with each other. Cause I would sit after school with him until his dad come pick him up, and then me and my brother walk home. And Billy told me the next day, he said, "My dad said I can't play with you because you black." And that put it kind of fucked with me for a while. It wasn't the fact of that. It was like, wow, I got no control over that. Because I'm not going to lie to you, man. All my life, I went to white schools, and for some reason, white people always liked me. They always liked me, and I wasn't trying to be white or nothing like that. It was just my personality. And so, at that age, I didn't understand that, man. But, and I can remember being in the army, being in the military. I knew how to identify a racist white person, and even when they tried to hide it, I could see it all over them, and during that time, I had really got militant, I really got and learned a little bit about Islam. I never been a Muslim, but I studied Malcolm X through and through. Hell, I got a Malcolm X tattoo. And man, a lot of folks thought I was racist because I just kind of kept my distance, because I understood, the military. Yeah, y'all talk all this, we all green and all that shit there, but at the end of the day, we know what the real deal is. But
hey, why were there always for forever, for all the way up to the mid '60s, blacks couldn't even serve with you guys?
That's right.
They couldn't serve, man. They had two different armies, black army and white army. And who was always on the front? People of color.
Well, actually, prior to that, blacks were only used for like cooks and support jobs.
Yeah. Blacks
fought to be able to fight because we fought in every war. And as I always say, and something I had to learn, because at one time, I did not really feel very American, but then one day I sat back and said, man, I done fought 2 tours in Iraq. I have an honorable discharge. I got blew up. I saved, I lost somebody over there, but I saved the remaining people and got us out the kill zone. Man, I fought for this country. This is my damn country.
Man, I love you. I have American flag out in front of my house right now.
Yeah.
And I can tell you, and since I've been living in this house, it's always been American flag in front of my house. But I worked for, let's say, starting in 1984, I was overseas supporting you guys. And I told you that.
Mm-hmm.
I worked for many, many years. I had a CO just like you. I had to go to the same stop, salute. I had to do the same thing just like you. I was support. I was those black people from the 50s and the 40s who had to cook and do that type of shit, but I wasn't a cook. I just happened to be an engineer. And I supported you guys for many, many years. And then I went over to Kuwait and Afghanistan.
Mm-hmm.
A little bit before I came out there to Lockheed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I spent a lot of time over there, Mac. I still hold an Army ID in my pocket right now.
Mm-hmm.
To this day. And
yeah.
I feel, Mac, I did a lot of for this country, keeping those planes in the air, Mac.
That's right. That's part of your service. There's nothing wrong with that. Just because you didn't physically go to basic training doesn't mean there are many ways to serve your country.
And I served it well, too. And I loved it. I was based out of Korea.
Oh, yeah.
Man, I lived there for 3.5 years, man. Lived there amongst the people. I could have lived on base, but I choose not to. Too many damn rules. You know, and I didn't like, and I could go to the NCO club, and because I was the GS-14, GS-14s can go, you can do your homework. They were able to go into the enlisted man's, go into the NCO club and be in there with all them butter bars and shit. I remember I was in there with my beard and my earring, and the guy come up, some old white redneck, come up talking shit to me. Soldier, why you have that earring in? Because I was in, you know, my regular clothes. What's going on? You know, Baba just fucking with me. And he's so busy hollering and screaming, he never once really asked me, who am I? And then this one white guy, man, and said, man, he's with the 45th Trans. We work together. Soldier, butter bar. I didn't know what a fucking butter bar was, Mac.
That's an officer.
And, yeah. And he said, that guy probably makes more money than you. And I was making $150,000 a year then, Mac. Yeah. And tried to get me arrested, Mac.
What?
Yeah, he called the SPs on me, man. They came and showed up, and he's still just talking shit. I'm just sitting up there because my CO always told us, do not scream at them, do not curse, do not holler, you know. You just do what they say do and call me when you get a chance.
Yeah.
And so finally they got in touch with my CO, and he told them who I was and what I was. Next thing you know, those SPs like, man, you need to leave this guy alone. And a captain came in there, and he was like, you were 45th. I know. I seen you come. I seen you. You know, I seen you out on the flight line with the 58.
Yeah.
And I used to be on the 58s with the Black Hawk. That was us. And we had a couple Chinooks, but not very many. But I would mainly there on the Black Hawks and the 58, a little bitty two-seater bird.
Wow.
And then they left me alone and apologized. So I went on and finished my hot beer, and the guy behind the bar gave me another one. He said, that one's hot, let me give you another.
Oh, man.
And, yeah, showed me love after that. I said, man, I helped this country after I really sat down and talked to the bartender, and another guy was sitting next to me. I said, man, we support everything you guys do.
Oh, yeah.
We keep your health behind.
That's right.
But I've been through some shit, Mac. I really have been through some things, seen some things.
Save your most important documents and photos in the cloud. A Microsoft 365 subscription gives you a full terabyte of secure OneDrive storage, plus an added layer of protection with OneDrive Personal Vault. Buy now at Microsoft365.com/photos. Save your most important documents, videos, and photos in the cloud. With a Microsoft 365 subscription, you get a full terabyte of secure OneDrive storage that you can access across all your devices. As part of your subscription, you get the added benefit of additional OneDrive Personal Vault storage. Using a second set of identity verification, this gives you an extra layer of protection for your most important and private files. Buy now at Microsoft365.com/memories.
My life. And when they talk about taking black studies away, your president, Mr. Donald Trump, I have a problem with him. Because he was basically saying the other night that it's going to bring an uprising of people of color about learning about their heritage, whether it be Latino heritage or black heritage. There's been so many people of color that's helped this country. I'm just telling you, Matt, it's just a lot. And, you know what, we used to live right down the street from Charles Drew, junior high school. I didn't know who the hell Charles Drew was because we didn't have black studies. I didn't find out till I became an adult who that school was named after when I ended up in the Killer King Hospital.
Killer King, I heard about that hospital there.
Killer King. Ended up in there, Mac. And I looked, and then there was Charles Drew right next door to it, where they do the heart transplant and shit like that. Charles Drew was one who invented them. Black man.
Wow, I didn't know that.
That's why we have to have black studies, Max, so you will know that.
Yeah.
I can go on and on and on what blacks have invented in this country, and we got no credit for it, Max.
I believe you.
None. White America has stole from every country on this continent. And they try to say us 13% of blacks are the worst. Come on. We don't do white collar crimes. They don't call them white collar crimes for nothing.
Oh, wow.
We ain't stealing people's homes back. They are. We're not taking people's jobs. Because those jobs have been presented by who? By white people. We don't really go. We go in the store and black people can do some dumbass shit. Go in the store and end up getting 3 years for selling a goddamn candy bar. Or shoot his best friend over a $2 crap game. That's the dumb shit we do, Mac. Or shoot each other because of a color rag you hanging out the back of your back pocket. That's the dumb shit black people do. Or go try to rob their neighbor's house.
Yeah.
Because your ass won't go get a job. And it's not that many people who do that.
No, it's not. It's not.
It's not, Mac. It's not. We don't do what they do. They steal nationally. I said nationally they steal.
Mm-hmm.
They steal country. And they're still doing it to this day. But people are afraid to say it. I'll say it because I don't give a fuck. Because it's the truth. It's the fucking truth, Mac. They steal so much. We can't even talk about how much they steal. And Trump's a goddamn thief too. Obama could not steal because he didn't have the House behind him. He didn't have the Senate behind him. He couldn't do shit. And he damn sure didn't help black people. He probably would have been on a fucking slab. If he did, he'd have been another Kennedy. And you know it, man. I was just so happy to see us, and I'm going to be blatant, and I'm going to say this, Mac.
Go ahead.
I was happy to become a goddamn president because I never thought I'd ever see it in my life. Did you ever imagine that you would see a black president, Mac?
No, I never really fathomed it. And I'm gonna be honest with you. It never ran across my mind because since birth, we've always had white presidents.
Yeah. I'm going to drop something on this real deep, Mac. I was in Atlanta, okay? And me and my family, just on a little family vacation, we bought a house there, Mac. You know, I was doing quite well. And we're taking a tour. We're getting ready to sign up for a tour. There was a white guy, and he's out there doing the advancement of tours. And there was this black guy out there. And he's like, y'all don't need to go to that one. Come to me. He hustling tours. So me and this Latino family and this white family and another black family. I remember like it was fucking yesterday. And my daughter was a little person. She may be 7. My youngest daughter. And the black guy, good morning, Miss Madam President. That's the exact words he said to my daughter. He said, good morning, Madam President. And me and my wife looking at him like, nigga, it's crazy as fuck. To this day, I understand what he meant, Mac. And this is right in front of Ebenezer's Church, Baptist Church. You know what that one is, right?
Yeah, that was the MLK Church.
Yeah. We had already cooked the tour of Martin Luther King's home, the fire department, and we ended up in front of Ebenezer Baptist Church, and he called her, when we first met her, he called her Madam President. And I looked at this guy, and that whole tour, it resonated, and to this day, it still resonates to me, because I got a chance to see a black president.
Wow. That's powerful.
Yeah, Mac. If you ever meet my lovely wife, ask her. She'll tell you what she said to my daughter. I never thought I'd hear that or see that. Now we faced with a black woman. I don't really care for Kamala's refused. He took away where, and look this up too, Mac. She announced where in California, I have to revert back to fucked up California and they rules. You can't shoot anybody if they come in your house. Did you know that, Mac?
No, I didn't know that.
Somebody break the fuck away if they're in your house. In Texas, ain't no ifs and buts about it.
Oh, in Texas, you can blast their ass.
Yeah, you can blast. Not here in California. The rules state, because I looked it up, Mac. If someone breaks into your house, you need to get out of there and go to the next door neighbor's house.
No, in Texas, man, you shoot first, ask questions later. When somebody break in your house and as long as they still in your house now if they break in there and they leave, you are not allowed to chase them.
Right.
But if they break in your house, you are allowed to put some iron in them.
Hey, Mac, and if you break into my house, and let me get back to what the law says. The law says they have to be trying to do bodily harm to your family. This was just written into legislation not too long ago, Mac. This is the kind of dumb shit Kamala Harris would do. So, this one thing I don't like about her either. And I know damn well Biden didn't like black people when he put a lot of black folks in jail. We all know that. But nothing like this cardinal motherfucker's trying to do. If we left it up to Trump, Mac, your ass will be back in slavery. And some of his administration, his administrators on his team, your ass will be black in slavery. When they say make America white, make America great again, America ain't never been great for black people. When do you know when it's been great for us? Tell me. Please. Tell me. Please tell me. I've been asking people that for a long time. When has it been great for black people?
Mm-hmm. I don't know, man.
It ain't. Only thing, we just not in slavery no more, but we still slaves within our mind. Black people are so fucked up from the things that... Mac, think about when you're driving down the street and you looking back and you see a cop. You get a little concerned.
I get a little nervous. You're right, I do.
You get a little nervous because you're thinking, hey, when I was a kid, I can remember these motherfuckers harassing me for no reason.
Well, let me say this. At least out here, at least like I said, I grew up in Garland, Texas, man. That's what I call home. And back then, the police had a positive presence. I can remember the school resource officer, man, and I never forget. Say again.
All cops, bad cops. Now go ahead, Mac.
Okay. Anyway, man, I never forget him, man. He nominated me for this DARE program, and I went to a little program. You know, we went on field trips. It was really positive, man. And when I got out of the military, I was going to be a cop. I wanted to be a Dallas police officer, but due to war wounds, I just couldn't do it. I realized then that I don't need to be a police officer. This is not what I need to be doing. You know, and I wish more police officers would have that heart-to-heart talk with themselves, because I had it with myself. And my whole thing is that back in the day, man, at least when I was a kid, I can't speak on, I've heard about how LA was. I've heard about that. But I read a book called Verbal Judo. And that used to be required reading for all cops across the nation. But for some reason, it's no longer mandatory reading during your training phase. I don't know why. But the cop basically said, you can de-escalate a situation verbally without ever having to pull a gun out.
And that is so true.
That is so true, man. But now, the media plays such a big part. And I told people on my social media, I said, if you're scared and nervous, you don't need to be no cop.
No.
Because when I was in the military, when we went out on missions, and this is my second tour in Iraq. So people that know me know I'm being honest, because my first tour, I never did any of that. I was a logistics guy. But with my second tour, due to, everybody, with so many people getting out of the military, man, they actually extended me involuntarily. And so whenever we went out on missions, man, I had to have a cool head. I had to keep my composure. I was like my I had an officer, a captain. I was like his what do you want? Kind of like his bodyguard a little bit when he would interrogate people. And I had my glasses on, my Oakleys on, and it was straight business, man. It was straight business. I never once. Hold on, brother. Hold on. Let me finish. I never once accidentally shot anybody. He didn't make me that. Even though this guy and I did not speak the same language, he knew that, look here, we're here to detain you, ask you your questions, and get the fuck out the way. It was all business, my man. So when I hear cops now and they're all nervous, I'm like, if you're that nervous, you shouldn't be a cop.
Yeah, and most of them, Mac, are terrified right now. They're fucking terrified. They got right to be. They do. Because all these bad cops who are going out here knocking black folks in the head for no reason and doing stupid stuff and killing them, black people are nervous. They are, Mac, I'm 60 years old. I'll still get nervous when they start. I told you about the incident at Kentucky Fried Chicken the other day.
Mm-hmm.
This was 2 ago. I go through the drive-thru. I notice, the ambulance is out in the front. And a couple cop cars. Something happened inside the Kentucky. I don't know what it was. And I'm just standing in line. I'm like 2 cars waiting for my food. So I get up to the front, all the cops leave, and the ambulance is clear. All of a sudden, I see another cop pulls up. Right while I'm at the front, getting ready to pick my food up. Lady cop. I pull into the handicap stall because I got a handicap sticker, and I'm in my Mercedes. And lady pulls her bumper like in the middle of my bumper, like to block me in, like. And because I had to. Let me rewind. I had to go into the store because they messed up my order.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I parked. So the lady pulled up a little bit. And so in order for me to get out of the stall, I would have had to really go through a whole bunch of headaches to get out of the stall. And she's out walking around, Mac, looking in my fucking car while I'm in the store picking up the remainders of my food. So I get my food. I come back out. I told people, thank you very much, cordially. And I come out. She's getting ready to get back in her truck, but she's still looking at my car. And I'm going, what the fuck? So finally I said, ma'am, is there something wrong, officer? Respectfully and cordially. I didn't see your handicap. Ma'am, the handicap sticker, since I've got it, has never came off my rear view mirror, which my wife hates it. She says, don't take the thing off. I won't take it off. It's too much hassle. It's a real big, thick, wide thing on there on the rear view mirror to put the little sticker placard up there. And it doesn't really fit. So it's a bitch to take it off and put it on. So I don't take it off. And she says, I just wanted to make sure you had a placard. Really, ma'am? So what gives you the right to be looking in my car? You seen me walk into Kentucky. You seen me put my mask on. You seen all this gray under me. You know I'm not a kid. Well, everything is fine, Mr. Glass. And I'm like, this bitch ran my license plate. I swear to God.
You gotta make sure you're doing the right thing, huh?
It's just bullshit that you still have to go through that at 60 years old. Why do I have to go through that?
I know, man.
Why any has to go through that? It's ridiculous. And then they wonder why we don't like them. That's the reason why. Quit judging us because of the color of our skin. It's sick. What if we start profiling every white person we see? Every white, like, Mac, you walking down the street. Let's say you get out your car and a white person get out their car. You'll see them turn around and look at you and make sure they lock their door. I did it I reversed it on them one day, Mac. These white kids got out the car. There was an older white guy with them. And I looked at them and then looked at my car, hit the lower knob. Click, click. And Monkey, you must do more than anybody on this planet. They stole from the Native Americans. They stole from the Jews. They steal from everybody, Mac. They steal and kill. They have killed a lot of people, Mac. Pulling people behind trucks with a chain, dragging them. I mean, the list goes on how bad black people hanging them from trees. The list just goes on and on and on how we've been mistreated in this world. And they wonder why people of color do not like them. Because it ain't just been black people. They've treated the Latino people just as bad now. Because California's full of Latino people. And damn near look like Mexico down here now. And they get harassed, Mac, just like we do.
Wow.
Yeah. It's bad here, Mac.
Let me ask you
really
something. Tell me why whenever black people bring up these conversations like this, the rebuttal they have is, what about black on black crime? Why do they do that?
Because they ain't got nothing else to say.
I remember on Facebook, I didn't share this with anyone, but I shared it with a close friend of mine and my wife. And I love German Shepherds. And I have a German Shepherd. I imported her from the Czech Republic in December of last year. And anyway, I'm in these German Shepherd groups, and this one white lady, I forgot what the conversation was about, but basically I laughed at her response to somebody else. I laughed at it because what she said was just stupid. Like, I knew she was very inexperienced. I remember what it was. The person wanted to know, can they still get an unpapered dog papered? And she was like, well, you got to get it fixed first, and then the AKC will let you do this. And I was laughing because if the damn dog doesn't have a genealogy to begin with, getting papers won't matter. And if you get it neutered, it's pointless.
What's the point?
The whole purpose of having papers is to pretty much trace down your dog's lineage, and so when you ready to sell them pups, you can tell them, hey, here's where the puppies come from. You can explain that, and you can justify the price of the dog because it comes from this. You get what I'm saying?
Right. No, I'm 100% with you because I have a SPCA dog.
Yeah, and so she. Yeah. So anyway, man, I laughed at it with a little laughing emoji on Facebook. This young lady responded to me and said, why are you laughing? And I ignored her. So then she took it a step further to go in my inbox. And she's like, why are you laughing? I'm like, and I kept sending her laughing emojis like, okay, you have a mental problem now. Facebook created the laughing emoji so we could use it, and I'm going to use it. So then I sent her a picture.
You have your little, what they call them, your little black person on there? No.
I use the little smiley face that Facebook has on their platform. Well, anyway, I sent her a picture of my dog's mom. I was just being goofy, being silly. Man, this motherfucker sent a message back and said, stop being a dumb nigger. So
really?
I was like, okay, who's your employer? And we went back and forth for a little bit. Then I just stopped talking to her. But I say that to say this. It trips me out because this is what black people are talking about.
That's exactly what people are talking about. These damn Karens.
That's right. They call it the Karen syndrome. And the thing about it is, what gives you the right to tell me I can't laugh at some bullshit you put up there? Number one, if you get a dog neutered, having papers don't even matter anymore. Do you know what my dog, I have a warranty on her. If I get her spayed, my warranty's null and void now because she is pointless.
You altered the dog.
You altered the dog. My dog has health guarantees. If my dog dies, I literally, within a certain time frame now, I want to say within like a year or 2 years, if she passes away, due to causes or something like that, they'll either give me my money back or they'll give me a new dog. But if I get her fixed, the contract is null and void. And number two, whenever you buy a dog overseas, they don't really care why you buy it. But if you tell them that you want to be a breeder, oh, that contract goes into full effect now.
Yeah.
Because they want you to pass on the bloodline. They want to keep the bloodline going, basically.
Right. Of course, that just makes Mac. You just look at some of the things that they say sometimes and they do, Mac. They just so out of touch sometimes, Mac. It's just ridiculous. When I hear all these Karens on TV, get your black ass off my grass, or saying some stupid shit like that, Mac, you just look and you go, really? In this day and age? Really? You know, that's all you can basically, because you don't want to hit them. That's the worst thing you can do is hit a Karen, because you know what's going to happen to you.
Yeah, you're going to be in jail.
And, you're going to be in jail for a long time.
For a long time.
And they, even if it was a black woman, because we found out our black queens don't get a lot of justice here, Mac. They don't.
Yeah.
They technically are the lowest of, you get a male, because a lot of black males are incarcerated, or they're just fucked up, or they're gay, or something's fucked up with them.
Yeah.
And they're having a hard time finding men.
Yeah, black women are the least married. Why do you think that is, though, man? Because I'm married to a black woman. You're married to a black woman. Why do you think there are so many black women unmarried, man?
I'm going to say something real deep to you, Mac. It's going to fuck you up. All my sisters are married to white men. All 4 of them.
But why? Why do you think our women are not? Why is that? I mean, just answer that question for me.
Hey, Mac, I've been trying to figure that one out forever. I can't figure it out. Because I don't know, it's because our black men are going to that, they try to go to that white shining light. They think a lot of white women are, that's to get the trophy. I don't think they're the trophy. I love white women. I like white women, but I love black women.
Yeah,
ain't nothing pretty, beautiful black woman.
I love black women. I'm like you, brother. I love black women, and I'm gonna be honest with you. If I were not married, and don't get me wrong, I'm at the age now, at the point of my life now, where I'm not really so focused on color as far as marriage, because I've seen white women married to black men, and these white women are more down for the black. I've seen it. I ain't telling you what I heard. I'm talking about I done seen some white women that are down.
That'll shoot somebody over their man.
They will shoot you over their black man. They ain't saying no word. They're not using that N word. It ain't allowed. It is not allowed. I have met. So don't get me wrong. People and my audience understands that what we talk about, we're not saying all white folks, all black folks. It ought to be understood. And I've seen these white women down for brothers, man. I ain't making this up, bro. I've seen it. I was like, damn, she is for real. So I applaud. Go ahead.
I've never been a brother with a black woman. My brother who lives out there, he's married to a Chinese lady now.
Yeah.
And they're much loved. They're happy. But prior to that, it was always white ladies I seen him with. And I didn't have a problem with none of them that I seen him with. None of them. They were all nice. You know, good women.
Good women.
One crazy. Stalking him. He got one that's still stalking him. And he's married. She's still stalking him. Literally to this day. And he's been married to this Asian lady for 2 years now. And they're stalking him. And she used to be married to a white guy who hates my brother because he is black. And she has 2 kids that are half white and half Asian.
Wow.
My brother was having this challenge with the daughter prior to... Oh, let me rewind a little bit, Mac. The mama still has not told the daughter that they're married. What do you think of that, Mac?
Oh, you mean
Answer me.
You mean his wife has not told his his mother-in-law that they're together?
Well, I think the white guy's mother-in-law, her ex-husband, the ex, they know, but they haven't told the little girl yet.
Oh, his stepdaughter.
His stepdaughter.
Does she live with them, or she lives with her father?
Lives with her father. I meant to tell you that. She lives with the father in Orange County.
And you said why haven't they done what now? Why do I think they haven't told her yet?
When I was in Texas just recently, I came down to my brother and we talked about it on it a little bit. I said, why haven't you guys told Ashley that you and my sister-in-law, Shawnleen, are married? Why haven't you guys expressed it? Your daughter knows, Emory. Your daughters know that you're married to her. Why? And they were getting ready to buy a house in Orange County out by the beach, like, $500,000. And I told my brother this, right? And then they came over to my house. She lives here. She has a place here in California, and they have their place in Texas. And she needs to be around, her kids. And she has a son, too. I met the son, loves black people, nice guy. Met him in New Orleans. And but the girl didn't like my brother at that time because her ex-husband was putting salt on it, on all that relationship. And now they all get along great. I'm shortening the story. My daughter, my niece, and I guess you'd call her my step-niece, which I haven't met her yet. Pretty little girl. And they get along like sisters. But they yet to tell this child. And my brother was getting ready to buy this $500,000 house on the ocean out there by the water. And I told him, do not buy that fucking house until you tell that little girl. Because that's going to hurt that little girl. You know what I'm saying, Matt? Because you deceitfully lied to her this whole time. Well, how hard is it? I'm married to him. That's my husband.
I'm like you, man. I don't have a reason for that. I don't know why she wouldn't tell her daughter. I don't know why. That's crazy to me. That's something she should know. That's nothing to hide. But I feel like when you interracially marry like that, you got to remember you're dealing with two different cultures, believe it or not. Even though we both may be native born Americans, native people born in the U.S., there's still some things that are different, and you would think, okay, we're all American. We should all just marry and mix and mingle. And in a perfect world, we would. But because America is,
in China, and Emory has met, my brother has met her family in China because they were going back and forth to China like it was nothing, like damn near once a month because she works for American Airlines. So they were going back and forth like, going out at night. So he met all her family in China. And the daddy, to this day, still won't accept.
Save your most important documents and photos in the cloud. A Microsoft 365 subscription gives you a full terabyte of secure OneDrive storage, plus an added layer of protection with OneDrive Personal Vault. Buy now at Microsoft365.com/photos. Save your most important documents, videos, and photos in the cloud. With a Microsoft 365 subscription, you get a full terabyte of secure OneDrive storage that you can access across all your devices. As part of your subscription, you get the added benefit of additional OneDrive Personal Vault storage. Using a second set of identity verification, this gives you an extra layer of protection for your most important and private files. Buy now at Microsoft365.com/memories.
Won't accept
your brother.
Won't accept.
Yeah. I mean, you got to look at it's a cultural thing, man. That's what it boils down to. And the sad thing I've discovered with some, not all black men that marry interracially, is sometimes it has to be, I had to say it, somewhat secretive to a degree. Why? Because of the cultural aspect. And my thing is, if I'm with you and you can't tell everybody we're together, we're not going to be together because I refuse to live a lie.
Me too. Not that kind of lie.
Not that kind of lie. That's some deep shit, because if they have a kid, man, that's gonna be, you gotta be, that's questionable, man. You gotta answer those questions, and you gotta, but I'm pretty sure that little girl, her father has instilled things in her. And believe it or not, prior to your brother meeting his wife, she probably had notions about black people. And so now she's like, well, if I tell her that we're married, it will look hypocritical. And
I think maybe kids had that stigma of what black people are. Because if you look back in the past history, white people has polluted every nationality that we're the worst.
yeah.
Yeah. And it's so true. When I got to Korea, people wanted to touch me, Mac.
That's right. I've heard of that before.
They come up to me and they want to touch my hair. Hey, I just tell them, get the fuck back away from me. Don't fucking touch me. And I said it a few times to these women. We're in a restaurant. I cool, I just see. And lady rubbing on my hand, my arm. I cool. Checking to see if I have a fucking tail.
Oh man, that's sad.
Mac, this is in the 80s, Mac. Yeah. Because white America has got everybody to fucking think that. But you go to Europe, Mac, and that's a place, you military. Did you ever go to Europe, Mac?
No, I mean, I was in the airport for a brief moment, but I've never was stationed in Europe. No, I've never been stationed in Europe.
I take you back. I just went there last December, and I was in Paris. We went to London, my wife and I, and my brother-in-law and his wife and one of his daughters, his oldest daughter. The blessing I seen out of that first thing was all the black people were working there. They all had great jobs, working in the airports, working in the stores, working in the restaurants, everything. Wasn't no discriminative at all. London either. It's there, but it's nothing like here, Mac. And they treated me and Ned like kings and queens that we are. Come on in.
I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna tell you, man. I'm gonna tell you, man. My dad was in the army. He passed away. He passed away in December the 27th of last year. Anyway, he told me when he was in Europe, he was in Germany. He told me this. He said, when you're in Europe, if they hate you, it's not because you're black. It's because you're an American.
Yeah.
He says they don't, and I know this to be true. When you go out, I've been outside the U.S. I've been outside the Western Hemisphere. They don't see you as, oh, you're this black guy. Yeah, they know your color and all that, but they see you as an American.
Right, with a fucked up American view.
From American views, point blank, period. So, I mean, when it comes down to race, man, it's so much you could talk about with that because it's never ending, and the thing about it, one thing I tell people, I knew a brother came on a podcast. He was a Republican. And I said, the reason why black people shun the Republican Party of the day is not because they hate white people. That's not why. I said the reason why is because fellow black people who are in the Republican Party don't want to deal with the race issue. That y'all don't even want to acknowledge it. I said, y'all want to act like it's not there when we know damn well it. I said, I was a card-carrying Republican, and you know that.
Yeah.
I say, but yeah. And I said the reason why I walked away from that was because I couldn't have those tough conversations without, oh, you're talking about race again. Oh, the race card. No, man, this is serious. This is, dude. How do you not acknowledge this?
I don't understand it.
You cannot tell me what I'm seeing. That's the reason why a lot of black people don't rock with Candace Owens and Officer Tatum, because you people blatantly see what's going on, and every time a black person is in a situation, it's always our fault. When George Floyd got murdered, Candace Owens put out his arrest record, and I'm like, why would you do that?
Right.
When Breonna Taylor got murdered, people talking about she was a trap queen. Why would y'all do that? But the thing about when it comes to a white person, he was a punk kid back in the day. He made a mistake, but like at the debate with Trump and Biden, Trump was slamming Biden on his kids, and Biden was, he had a drug habit, but now he's very successful. No. Then he said, why did your son got kicked out the army? Why did he get kicked out the military? But there was no... Huh?
And I found out, I did my little research, Matt, just for FYI. He didn't get kicked out. But he did have a major drug problem.
What happened to him then? You say he get kicked out. What happened?
He didn't get kicked out.
So what
But he did have a drug problem in the military, and he had to try to get help. But you know, Matt, as long as I've been around the military all my life, they promote drinking.
Yeah.
They promote that. And a lot of people, most of the time when it's drinking, it becomes alcohol. It becomes drugs. Smoking a little weed to go along with it, to get a little higher, and then other addictions. It happens. Lots of guys come. One of my best friends, for real, he came out of the military, did his 4 years, Matt. He got an honor, but he came out a straight out fucking dope fiend.
I believe that.
His life, and we one day we'll call and get him on your show one day, and let him tell you about his life. And when he got out, he really, Matt, he was snorting coke and smoking crack and robbing people, just doing fucked up shit. Drugs. End up homeless. And he's truly one of my best friends. Ride or die, brother.
Wow. Man, that's what I'm saying, man. To get back to what we were saying, I don't want to lose my train of thought. But that's why, but what I'm saying is, it seems like when it comes to white people, it seems like they try not to put as much emphasis on their past. And but when it comes to black people, you have these Benedict Arnolds within the race they're doing the work for people. And it's like, and like I said before, I wish in a perfect world race didn't matter, but it does. It does, man. And that's what I told my partner, who's a Republican. I said, man, that's why black people don't rock with Republicans like that, man. I'm just telling you why. I'm telling you the reason why. I said, because I've been there. I've known the conversations we had. I said, man, I used to go on a white guy's show, and we could have those tough conversations like what we're talking about now, and it was no big deal.
Right.
It wasn't a big deal. It wasn't you blacks are blaming. No, it wasn't none of that bullshit, because anybody know me, I ain't even finna tolerate that. And I told that white guy, I said, I'm gonna tell you, man, not Herman Cain, rest in peace to Herman Cain, but Colonel Allen West, he's in Texas now. He was in Florida, and he was like the face for the Tea Party 6, 7, 8 years ago. You remember that?
Yeah.
And I told him, and how I forgot how I found him, this guy. And he was doing a live broadcast, and I called into his show, and I said, dude, y'all sold Allen West up the river. Y'all did not back that guy. That's why he didn't win. I said, dude, y'all sold out Allen West. I said, the Tea Party sold out Allen West. And you know what he told me?
And you know what?
He said, you're right, we did. He as a whole, him individually, he didn't do that. But as a whole, the Tea Party didn't back him. And I said, that's the reason why. And I told this white guy, I said, dude, I told him back then, I said, this is why blacks don't want to fuck with the Republican Party, because of stuff like this. Because we'll get here, you guys will pump us up, y'all are back us, but then when stuff start getting itchy, y'all back out of it, and y'all leave us high and dry.
All the time, man.
All the time. I said, dude, nobody's gonna. I said the only reason why blacks fuck with the Democrats, I said the Democrats will at least talk about race. They ain't gonna do shit about it, but you can at least have that conversation. I said, but
man, you just look at a black actor who comes up, becomes a millionaire. You got plenty of money, and what does white America try to do? They try to tear that brother down. They like to, and it's male or female. It doesn't matter. Perfect example. I got a good example. This is a recent one. I know you don't watch TV, but what's-my-call-his wife was on there. You know this black lady, too.
Who?
Okay, I can never get names out. She's on America's Got Talent. She was on there.
I don't know.
Black, and I can get her name out. I see her face and can't get the name out of my mind. Well, she was on that show. Next thing you know, they said she was dressing too tribal, too black, and her hair was looking too black. Because I was watching her on the show, and she wore a lot of French braids. Probably easier for her to get dressed. It's easier for black women to do that because black hair is a bitch to do.
It's a monster to deal with. It is.
It's something to deal with. And dang it, I wish I could get her name out. She was on Saving Mary Jane too, and okay, that was on BET. I can't get her name out. I'm bad with that, man.
Are you talking about Gabrielle Union?
Yeah, Gabrielle Union.
Okay.
And she sued them. She had a contract with America's Got Talent to be on that show. They ended up getting her off that show because they didn't like the way she dressed. They didn't like the way she wore her hair. They said she spoke a little too, they didn't say ghetto, but a little too ethnic. Yeah, and they got her off that show. And she spoke out on it and said that's exactly what it was. And I think they ended up going to court on that shit. Yeah. And if you think about it, the other black English lady who was on there, what's her name? Mel B. They gave Mel B all kind of shit. Finally got her off the show. You never see him off. You never see him kick the white German lady off, who's got all the black kids. You know, what's her name? The model lady. You never see him fuck with Howie Mandel. So get a seat to something to bring you up, and then they shut you down, Black. It is what it is. They do it to all of us. Our people of color. Latinos, too. You just see it. Even the Asian community catches hell, man. They catch it, too, when they come up. Next thing you know, oh, he was doing this and he was doing that. But they never say nothing when the white people come up and do something real fucked up. They always say, oh, well, that was just mislooked at.
The only people, I'm going to tell you something, the only people white people don't fuck with is the Jews.
No, they don't fuck with them.
They will not fuck with them.
They don't fuck with them. I don't know what it is, but they don't fuck with them.
They will not. If you fuck with them.
There was a white guy back on Fox News, the local Fox News here, Channel 11 in California. And he was a cop, ex-cop, retired, I think. And he had molested some kids. There did something real fucked up. And it came out. It kicked him off the news because he was doing the watch, the highway patrol watch or some shit like that, about, keeping the street where don't go that way, go this way. And they ended up getting that guy, and you never heard a fucking word else about what happened to that guy.
No, man.
He did go to jail for molestation of a child. He did something. And I can't remember what it was. But they sure enough fuck cleaned it up. That's what they do, man. Okay, that's what they do. They do for them. They don't give a fuck about you. They really don't, man. They don't care. And they will tear you down. They'll tear you down. Now, Kevin Hart went through that bullshit when he called them people gay. Every comedian on this earth has talked about gay people. You know it as well as I do, man.
Yeah,
talk about gay people.
They're comedians.
That's kind of a problem.
They're comedians, man. They're allowed to talk about the shit, everybody can't really talk about. But like you said, we live in I'm telling you, man, we live in a culture now, man. Dude, people are so sensitive.
Right. It is what it is, man. And that's what's going on in this world to this day, man. We do one little thing, we get exploited. You
Yeah.
Right?
Well, hey, bro, I gotta
They do it to Trump.
say again.
They do it to Trump all the time, man.
Oh yeah. Well, hey, brother, I tell you what. Let's go ahead and end this podcast. I gotta get ready for work.
Okay, I got you, and I got to get out of here.
Man, I enjoyed you coming on, man, and please don't make this your last time.
I won't, man.
Please don't.
I enjoyed it.
I think the people are gonna enjoy this, and like I said, man, this hold on, this freaking call. Let me ignore it. Hold on. All right, so I think the people are going to enjoy it, man. I think they will, and like I said, you know, you giving me so much wisdom, man. You know, I remember you told me, working in the aerospace company you and I met at, and I wanted to quit.
Yeah, I told you no.
You told me don't. You showed me. You opened my eyes to the corporate game, but I didn't get it back then. I didn't understand it. You opened my eyes to it back then, and you told me. You said, "Son, you don't ever." You asked me how long did I have there, and I said I had almost 4 years, 3.5. I had 3 years there, 3.5 years there. And you said you don't ever leave a company until you get vested. You said, man, you got a pension. You said, so what? They lay you off. You said they're gonna call you back. They're gonna call you back.
Didn't they call you back?
They called us all, and you told me, you said you don't ever leave a company until you get vested. And I was like, what does that mean? You said that means you get a piece of the pie.
Right.
And I learned that from you, man. I taught other cats that because I said, man, don't leave no organization. If you got 3 years there, and the normal vestation is 5. I've seen few companies that's 1 year, but the normal vestation process is 5 years.
5 years.
And I said, don't leave until you get your 5 years in. And you said after them 5 years, you can kick rocks. Don't worry about it no more because now you're gonna get something out of it. You said because the average man is gonna work 4 or 5 companies anyway.
Right.
You said so. What you do is you put in 5 here, make more money, put in 5 here, get vested there. You said now you got a bunch of checks coming to your house when you retire.
Right.
And man, that forever stuck with me. You know, like I said before, you was teaching me the game then about corporate America, but I don't know why I just didn't understand it. But I understood it when I went into sales. After I was laid off, I went into sales, man, and my horizon just expanded. And I said, this what Glass was telling me. So man, that's just one thing. You helped me with so much, man. So that's why I say I know people are gonna enjoy this podcast. They're gonna get something out of it because one thing about my podcast is we talk about it all. I had a lady on on LinkedIn was bitching about racism, an Asian lady, and I told her, I said, how about you come on my podcast and we discuss it? And the first thing she said was, what is your podcast about? What is your I said, ma'am, I don't talk about one subject.
Right.
I'm not.
Well, we on a lot of today, man. We really did.
I would never box my podcast into one subject because number one, I would run out of ideas because I talk about a multitude of things. I got ideas every hour, every day. There are times, man, I do 3 podcasts a day and a minimum of an hour podcast. I had a lady, I did a podcast the other day on a lady. She's an Afro-Latina. Really, she's just black, but Afro-Latina. And my friend and I, we did like a response to an interview she had. And, we gave her props, but we still gave her the negative. We gave her the positive, the pros and the cons and things of that nature. And so I sent it to her on social media. And she said she couldn't listen to it all because it was too long. And I'm like, well, you sure did write along. I didn't tell her this, but I'm like, you sure wrote a lot back to me to say you didn't listen to the whole podcast. But that was just her way kind of coming back. And I understand that. It's cool. It's cool.
And that's okay.
That's okay. But and I put her picture up there, and she was like, by the way, you could have asked me for a better picture. And so I told her, I said, no, by the way, that's a sexy pic. I said, the people like it and I like it. It's beautiful. Mm-hmm. And she hearted it, and I let her know, hey, you're a beautiful woman, but, hey, this is my critique of your interview, ain't nothing personal. Ain't nothing wrong. Hey, we got to have different views. But, man, I enjoy having a multitude of topics, man. I just can't box myself in. But like I said, I know people will enjoy, you speaking of wisdom, man, because you have a lot of it. You have a lot of life experiences, and that's what it's about, man.
Matt, all the life experiences that taught me to learn from them and gain.
Mm-hmm.
Keep life a little bit easier and give it to your kids so they can gain something. But kids say one ear. Go in one ear and it might go out, but it's always that one thing that's going to stick.
That's right.
One thing. I'm going to give this one little synopsis when I worked for TWA, man.
Go ahead, brother. Go ahead.
I was working for TWA, man. I get this job. This brother named Maury Hodges. Never forget it, man. He hired me. I was just walking up the street and said, man, I need a job. Brother, give me a job. This is 1978. I caught the bus down to the airport. Just trying to find a job, man. He hires me to be back here tomorrow. Me and this white boy. I showed up. White boy didn't show up. He hires me. So, I'm a SkyCap assistant. Remember SkyCap, Mac?
No, I don't remember that, man.
They used to help you with your bag when you're on the curb.
Okay.
You shoot them through you don't have to pay. So I was a SkyCap assistant. I would help with the handicap, run them up, and they get a tip. Run the people in their wheelchairs up. I worked with Natalie Cole. You name the list. Alex Haley. I can't tell you how many people I've seen and met working out there on that curb. So one day, there was this transient guy. Boy, he would always be out there, Mac. I mean, every day he'd be out there begging for money. And so I worked with this other dude named Red and this other guy named Taylor. And we was all on the curb hustling bags. Hey, I'll help you here. Let me run you in. You don't have to wait. But it was this transient out there. And he'd always be in my way while I'm trying to hustle these bags to get this money, these tips. So I said, Taylor, man, what the fuck is up with that old dude sitting over there, man? That dude's getting on my fucking nerve, man, in the way all the time. I'm trying to get money. Then he's begging for money. I give him money for coffee and something to eat. Because, I think made a couple $100 worth of tips in 3 hours. So, 2 days went by, I didn't see the guy. Another week went by, and I didn't see the guy. But this guy was religiously out there every day. And so one day, this is a lesson learned, Mac. He said, don't worry, one day you're going to see him again. Because I asked Taylor. He said, don't worry, you're going to see him, and you're going to be shocked. I said, what the fuck does that mean? And I was a youngster, Mac.
Yeah.
One day, it was a white Rolls Royce pulled up, like a silver cloud, one of them old.
Oh, yeah.
White one. White on white. He gets out, the guy gets out the car, and I look. And I said, I know damn well that ain't Calvin. He said, Glass, could you get over here and help me with these bags? And I look, and I go, he had his golf gloves, Mac. Brand new Callaway, nice suitcases, Mac. Top of the line, everything. Dressed to the nine. I walked him up there, straight upstairs, like I always do any other customer, because you really can't supposed to talk to these people. He gave me a $30 tip and went on his business. I came on back down to the floor, to the curb. I said, Taylor, man, what the fuck? Why didn't you tell me that dude's like that? Is he rich? He said he's very rich. That's why we never bother him when he's sitting out there, because Calvin got plenty money.
Oh,
but
my
we've
God.
seen him do many times.
Wow.
Many times. So the lesson I got out of it, you can't judge people, Matt. That's when I really learned you can't fucking judge people at all. Because he tricked me and paid me back and all the money I've given him. He gave me, and then when he came back in, flying from Florida, playing golf, I found out more about it. He got a house in Beverly Hills. His parents got money. He's just a little crazy.
He got too much time on his hands.
That he would be sitting out there dirty, stinky, and a foul, pissed on himself, just looking bad. But he go home, clean himself up, get his shit together, and he always flew TWA from what I understood, because he was always out there begging.
Oh, man.
So that's what I got back.
Well, man, we appreciate you, bro.
Thank you, man.
All right, bro.
Appreciate you just fucking, man.
All right, blessings to you. I'll holler back at you.
All right. Be safe.
Folks, there you have it. Folks, there you have it. There you have it. I know what the title was supposed to be, but I couldn't pass this opportunity up to interview a good friend. We've been friends for almost a decade. Well, no, we've been friends since 2012, so I guess 8 years. And, man, I'm telling you, man, the wisdom this man has, oh my God, the wisdom cannot be described. The wisdom cannot be described. I'm telling you, man. But anyway, guys, thank you for tuning in, because I know this is going to be something you too will enjoy as I have and as I did doing it. Thank you for tuning into the Cigars with Mac podcast. And we out.
One, two, three, four.
For everyone's safety, Vermont requires a 7-day home quarantine with a negative COVID-19 test,
10,
or 14 days with no test to visit this winter.
13, 14, 15, 16, 17.
We're also
18,
recommending you take the time to do some extra squats, lunges, wall sits, or high knees.
24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30.
With reduced lift and lodge capacity, you're going to have a lot more time to spend on the slopes. So take the time to get your legs ready.
38, 39, 40.
Vermont in winter. It's worth the wait.
1, 2, 3.
This winter, plan your trip. Don't trip up your plans. Talk to your favorite inn or resort about smart travel suggestions and reservation policies. For full COVID-19 travel guidance, visit VermontVacation.com.
16, 17.
Jersey City Medical Center is healing, enhancing, and investing in Hudson County with the county's only cardiac surgery program, performing the most orthopedic procedures, all private rooms in our Lord Abbott Maternity Wing, and the only NCI-designated comprehensive cancer center in the state in partnership with Rutgers Cancer Institute of New Jersey. Visit rwjbh.org/Hudson County. Jersey City Medical Center and RWJ Barnabas Health Facility.